Okay, today I'm going to do a video on my reloading bench. I'm going to go over what I started with, what I have now, and I'm also going to go into the construction of the bench itself. So let's get to it. So when I started, I bought a Lee Breechlock Challenger press kit. This is the press right here. It's an O-frame design. The press kit came with off the press priming. I added this priming arm so I could do on the press priming. It's a great press, very strong. I have it mounted really securely to my bench, nothing moves. I do take it apart once in a while, probably every about 2,000 rounds. I'll take the press apart. I'll oil the ram, any moving parts, this linkage down here, just to keep it in good working order. Take care of your stuff, it'll last you a lifetime. Moving over here, this is my Frankfurt Arsenal primer pocket swager. So this press, I'm going to call it, has a rod right here where you slip your casing over it and then you pull down the lever and it'll take the military crimp right out of your brass. Now, I've recently upgraded to the Lee Classic Turret Press, but I still use my single stage press for decapping because I like to clean my primer pockets. So I upgraded to the Lee Turret Press, which is over here. This press is great. I have on the press priming. Every pull of the handle rotates the turret a quarter turn. These turrets are really easy to replace and switch out with a new one. Right now I have this turret press set up for 9mm, and then over here I have my turret set up for 223 and 38 special. You just switch out the turrets, and then you're ready to go. Everything's set. The dies are already set to their proper depth, and you can just take that 9mm turret out, put in 38 special or 223, and then you're ready to go. The turret press is a great addition to my reloading bench. You can do, I think it's around 200 to 250 rounds an hour, whereas the single stage press, I think it was about 50 rounds an hour. I added these bins. They're screwed in very securely. They hold my brass, bullets, anything that I need to help in my reloading. This guy right here is the Lee Perfect Powder Measure. It's very simple. It throws an excellent charge. This right here is a micrometer, so you can dial in your powder load. Once this is set, I'll throw about 10 charges. I'll bounce it off on my digital scale, and then I use my beam scale, which is right there. Now, I know a lot of people don't like this scale, but I'm telling you from experience that it's very simple to figure out how to use it. The instructions are very clear, but this scale is dead on. So once you have it set, throw some charges, and about every 10th charge, I'll put it on my beam scale, and I'll just verify that I'm throwing the correct amount of powder. A few other things that are a must are these case length gauges. I have one for 38 special, I have one for 223, and then I have one for 9mm. These are very necessary because you need to make sure that your finished bullet is going to fit and go through this tool. This tells you exactly if your brass your finished bullet is the correct length. They come in all different sizes. They're not very expensive. They're about 20 bucks a piece, but they're well worth it. This right here, I think, is also a necessity. This is the Hornady powder trickler. Now, this powder trickler, when you're throwing a load and a specific load of powder for a casing, you may not quite get the exact weight that you want. So this, you fill it with powder, turn this little knob here, and grains of powder will slowly trickle out of this. Now this is a great little powder trickler, but it's very light, extremely light, and it moves around, um, and it's kind of difficult to use. So what I did, I took lead shot and some 5-minute epoxy, and I glued the lead shot into the base of it. So now this thing weighs about 3 pounds. So right where I set it is where it's going to stay until I'm done using it. Very handy tool. Some other things that I would recommend getting are some adjustable wrenches. This is a kinetic hammer. You're going to make mistakes when you're reloading. You're going to need to remove a bullet from a casing. This guy will do it. I have a pair of channel locks. The adjustable wrenches are great for adjusting dies. I have oils over here. This is a flash hole cleaner. I have some brushes. This is a primer pocket cleaner. There's my funnel. Various oils for lubrication of the presses, and I have the hops for cleaning my handguns and rifles. One of the most important things that I added to my reloading bench later on is this Lyman Case Prep Express. This machine makes your reloading and bullet, your case conditioning, a breeze. It has 5 stations, runs off 120 power, so regular house current, has storage on the sides, brushes here. There's a deburr, chamfer, primer pocket reamer, primer pocket cleaner, and a primer pocket uniformer. This really makes case prep fast. It has a little lip here, so any brass shavings will be collected in here, and then they give you a little brush so you can just brush everything right into this little tray here. I personally just use a shop vac and clean it off that way. You can do whatever you want with it, but it is great, and I highly recommend getting one. The other thing that's a necessity is a dial caliper. This guy right here. I have the the dial reading on mine. You can go with digital. I prefer personally to use the dial indicator because I know it's going to be perfect every time. I don't have to mess with batteries or anything like that. Another piece of equipment that I feel is very necessary to have is a case trimmer. You have to trim your brass, especially with rifle casings. This is the Lyman. I picked this up off of Facebook Marketplace for 40 bucks, and it came with all the pilots. There's a 9mm pilot in it now. Here's the cam to lock in your casing, and then your trimmer. I'll use 3-in-1 oil on this, lube it up, and it'll last you a lifetime. One of the most important things, if not the most important thing, is a good reloading manual. This is the Lyman 50th edition reloading handbook. Lee makes one also. This book is great. I use it for all my loads. It gives you a wide variety of powders, bullet types, grains, you name it. It's in this book. It's very good reading. If don't just buy it and skim through it. Read the book thoroughly because you're going to need to know what you're working with. Don't ever take advice or load data from anybody off of YouTube or forums. Read the book. The book's not going to lie to you. It's good reading. It's not boring. But definitely get yourself a reloading manual. So that's pretty much it for my reloading equipment. Let's get into the bench a little bit. So I built this bench. I used Simpson strong ties, and I bought 2x4s, a 5/8 piece of plywood top, and I bet you I built this thing in less than 2 hours. I put a shelf down on the bottom for storage. I have all my dies on the left. I have some cast bullets here, some clean brass here, bullets, a bench vise to hold my gun when I clean it, more brass. And what I did also, I wanted to utilize this center space so I could clean my guns, my rifles, my handguns, whatever I'm working on. I wanted a place where I could sit, pull up my stool, and work. So that's why, if you've noticed, I put all my reloading equipment to the outside of my workbench. That's my shotgun reloading. It's the Lee Loadall 2. Excellent press. When I was shooting trap, I was loading thousands of rounds a month. I shot that much trap. It's a great machine. I think it's under $50, and I've just taken it apart here and there, lubed everything up, and it was good to go. And then coming over here, I have everything that you see on the outside of my reloading bench. So it frees up the whole bench. Plus I have the additional storage, and then I have the pegboard for a backstop, and I have my powders on top and all my tooling, everything I need to reload. So I hope this video is helpful. Please like, subscribe, share, and please leave comments. It'd be greatly appreciated, and I can hopefully help somebody out down the road. See you on the next one.